Hi, I'd like to share some tips with you about taking care of your feet. If you're an athlete which is into impact sports of any kind where you have to run or jump, then you really have to take care of your feet. And I would like to share some of the tips that I have for that. There are two things you really need to take care of: warm up before you start playing, and stretches in the cool down after your game is done. And let's have a look. So during the warm up, you can use a tennis ball like this, or any firm ball is okay. A lacrosse ball will do as well. If your feet are very stiff, you might want to start with a slightly softer tennis ball. Okay, so you just put the ball on the ground and roll your feet on the ball for about anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. So you're trying to find spots in your foot which feel a little sore under the pressure of the ball. And you just, when you find such a spot, you leave the pressure there for some time until the pressure dissipates. And you apply as much pressure as required to make it feel slightly uncomfortable but not too painful. And needless to say, do it on both feet. So this is one thing. Another thing you can do is you have to warm up your feet, and for that we are going to walk on our toes, forwards, backwards, sideways, and you will do this for about, let's say, 50 to 100 steps. When you're done with that, you're going to walk on your heels, and similarly you're going to, I'm only showing you a few steps here, but you're going to do it for about 50 to 100 steps each way. Okay, when you're done with your toes and your heels, then walk on the outsides of your feet and also the insides. Okay, this will help to mobilize your feet and get it prepared for the upcoming action in your game. This is something you do during the warm-up. Next, when you're actually playing the game, your feet are going to get stressed because there is going to be a lot of impact which is absorbed not only by the feet but by your calves. So when your game is over, you have to stretch your calves. For that, here's the thing you can do. Just find a step, hang off the edge of a step and let your weight fall so that it stretches out your calves. If you don't feel much of a stretch in this position, then just stand on one leg so that your entire body weight falls on one calf. This is one stretch. Here's another stretch. Go up to a wall, put your toes up on the wall, and you want your toes up fairly high like this. You don't want your toes low on the wall like this. So try to get your heel close to the wall. Once you do that, face the wall, keep your knee locked down and push your hips forward this way. Do not just lean forward with your head while your hips stay where they are. That is wrong. You want to move your hips forward. And as you do that, you'll feel an intense stretch along your calf. This is the second stretch. The third stretch is similar, but with the only difference that this time your knee is unlocked and you're still going to move forward with your hips and not with your upper body. Move forward with your hips. This time you'll feel an intense stretch along the lower part of your calf. This is the third stretch. And finally, you can take a rolling pin or you can take a ball and you can massage your calf this way. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to massage my calf by putting the ball on the calf and using my body weight to apply some pressure on the calf. And you try to move the ball so that you find a sore spot where it feels slightly sore under pressure, and then you sit on it for a while. Remember, this could be a little bit painful, but that's okay. So you have to apply as much pressure as required to make it feel a little bit uncomfortable but not too painful. And do this frequently, and the more frequently you do it, the better your tone of the calf muscle is going to become over time, and the easier it's going to be for you to maintain that during your games, and you are less likely to have problems along the way. Okay, instead of a ball, you could also take a rolling pin, which I don't have currently. I'm going to use something else to show you what that looks like. You can use anything to apply some pressure. Here I'm using a kettlebell. So I'm just going to apply some pressure. So this is 20 kgs and I'm just allowing it to sit there. So I don't recommend that you put 20 kgs on your calf because it can be very painful. I've done this for a while. So go slowly at first and get used to the feeling of how it's going to feel on your body. So that's why I recommend the rolling pin where you can control the amount of pressure. So you have to find the sore spots and just let the weight sit on it and do its work. Okay. And finally, I'm just trying to share some tips that I have had success with in my own practice as an athlete, but I'm not a medical expert, so use your own caution. Thank you, and I hope it helps you.